repeatedly since January 1st, only OKC has a better record than Indiana does. All right, it's Michael Jordan versus LeBron James. It's a debate that is both everlasting and excruciatingly tiresome. However, every now and again, you're rolling me while I'm on the air. It's an interesting decision. Michael Jordan's longtime agent, David Falk, added a new chapter to this conversation yesterday. Here's what he said.
Like LeBron, but I think that if Jordan had cherry-picked what team 15 championships.
Oof. Okay, so for those in the room who couldn't hear what he was saying, that's David Falk, who was no longer Michael Jordan's agent, but was forever and will always be thought of that way, saying that he likes LeBron. Any conversation, any statement that starts with, look, I really like LeBron, this is with all due respect, not going somewhere good. It is the classic all due respect. He said if Jordan had cherry-picked where he wanted to go and had two other superstars, he would have won 15 championships. The only place to start for perspective. 15's an exaggeration.
Yeah. This is who David Falk is. He's a provocateur on his best day. Okay, he's Michael Jordan's longtime agent. He is that. I'm a neighbor of David Falk and have known him for 45 years. Okay? I've had millions of basketball-related conversations with David Falk. No one should be surprised that David Falk is going out there with the MJ flag. Because if you think that, stop. Just get out of the sports talking about business and go to something else. Now, I hate the conversation because it requires you to say something negative about someone who's truly great and all-time great to make your point. And that's the most tiresome thing about the GOAT conversation. Let me just say this. I'm not going to sit here and say that LeBron James has to be considered better than Magic Johnson. That's garbage. I'm not going to say LeBron James has to be considered better than Bill Russell. That's garbage. I'm not going to say LeBron James has to be considered better than Kobe Bryant. That's garbage. LeBron James is one of the greatest players of all time in all team sports. I'm sorry, if that's not good enough, turn the page. Get over yourself. So in other words, I'm going to proclaim and support and wave the LeBron James flag for his greatness. But if I say he's less than number two, that's not good enough for you, to hell with you. And I'm not saying that as in support of David Falk. I'm saying that as somebody who has watched basketball and lived with basketball my whole life. I got to say that LeBron James is better than Kobe Bryant? What? Put me in a grave first.
Well, let's see. You're allowed to have your perspective on it, and that's with your respectability and your credibility. That's fair. I'll tell you really quickly what I love about David Falk. So he was Coach K's agent. He was my first interview when I was coming out of college. Do you know what his presentation was, Mike? This is the presentation for Michael Jordan that we did. Yeah, and he sat back. I was like, well, that's all you need to say, right?
doesn't like the idea of saying.
He doesn't. He specifically said.
Oh, shots at Bron. Like,
Let me just say, I stole that thought from him. And we did this
We don't
on
care,
when
bitch.
he was inducted into the Hall of Fame. 18 minutes, I think, on SportsCenter. My God, how dangerous was that? Putting me in charge of that. Michael said, I'm not about to sit. The question was, do you want to be considered the GOAT, the greatest basketball player? He said, no, because I'm not going to say I'm better than the following people. And he just won't do it. LeBron has done that.
so what?
So you have a lot.
That's what you play this game?
It does. And scrutiny, and it invites a scrutiny that it sounds like LeBron doesn't want, and I don't blame him for not wanting it, but he went there.
Yeah. No, like, whenever people compare Michael and LeBron, it's like it has to diminish LeBron's
That's why the
legacy.
That's
Right?
why
To me, I'm like, they're both
yes.
exceptional.
I have to leave it there on that thought.
Yes.
We will have more on this as we go. Obviously, look, it's the debate. It just never stops.
going away.
Meanwhile, let's enjoy that one more time. Our stage manager, the great Brandon Phillips, as I was in the middle of talking to the camera, talking to you at home, doing what he does. He's rolling me around. That's his job. He's doing it. He's so mad right now. Look how mad he is. And candidly, his anger, talking to the camera, talking to you at home. It just never going away. Meanwhile, let's enjoy that one more time. Our stage manager, the great Brandon Phillips, as I was in the middle of talking to the camera, talking to you at home, doing what he does. He's rolling me around. That's his job. He's doing it. He's so mad right now. Look how mad he is. And candidly, his anger makes me delighted. This is a man who once told me he was going to lose a bunch of weight by going on a diet of nothing but wonton soup and lifesavers. That should give you some indication of his judgment. Okay.
From day one, right down the street, to present day, all over America, Napa and our nationwide network of arts and exceptional service were built for one mission: to keep your business moving full speed ahead.
We've got lots to get to today. It begins with the performance of the night, and appropriately, it came from the MVP. SGA gets his trophy in front of the home fans, and then spent most of the night, Jay Will, reminding everyone why he won the award. You use the word surgical.
A half-court surgeon is what he is. I think historically, we are watching one of the most efficient, gifted players in the game of basketball.
Just continuing to get at that all night long. Now, Anthony Edwards, we wanted him attacking the basket in this game, and for the most part, he did.
Yeah, it's wanted him to be a playmaker. Look, he did have a lot of turnovers in this game, but OKC's defense is one of the best in the league.
It would turn on in the third quarter in a big way. Here's in the second. There's Edwards. He had 16 at the half. T-Wolves hanging around, but once again, Jay, it's just SGA unstoppable in the mid-range.
Well, it's him offensively, but also, listen, this team has one of the best turnover margins in single postseason history, and that's what OKC does, and that's when they pulled away.
Thunder by 8 at halftime, and then the third quarter is where it really got away. SGA would score 38 on the night on 21 shots.
I mean, Mike, is that a free throw merchant move right there?
It is. And by the way, when you turn it over as much as Minnesota did last night, those are just automatic. I think they were 12 points off turnovers in that quarter, Jiggy.
It was a 35-21 quarter in total in that third. OKC turned it from a game to not so much a game. Throw it up, Kaysen. Throw it down, Chet. It's the Holmgren going up and knocking it in again. Edwards, 32 points, but all things considered, a frustrating night. One in which he would skip talking to the media after it was over. OKC gets the win, 118-103, taking a commanding 2-0 lead in this series. And fresh off winning the MVP, SGA reminded us why he was, tying his playoff career high with 38 points, his 9th game this postseason with 30. That is tied for the second most in a single postseason in franchise history, behind only Kevin Durant, who had 11 back in 2014. And now we'll get Windy and Wilbon in a moment here, but I wanted you to make the point you made in our meeting, because I really want to hear what their reaction is to the question you brought up.
I think that this playoff series is over, Mike, and I firmly believe that the coronation of Anthony Edwards is premature, right? And I think you saw a sizable gap last night, and I think there's a 3-year difference between a guy who's an MVP, who has a mental basketball IQ that is high and exceptional, and a young player who's on his way to potentially becoming that down the line, but there's still a run of maturity and basketball IQ that needs to be increased in order for him to get there.
Well, we have to say that last year they're giving different conference finals for the Timberwolves. And there's still some room to go. I'm not going to disagree with you. And we thought, and we did think that this postseason is that time. But you have to do this in multiple postseasons. You don't get one. I mean, he's sending, they're sending, but last night was a step back for the team. And by the way, you can't just be it, man. I know where you get this. Julius Randle has to have, you can't, nobody has 5 or 6 great games. So you just don't do that. Don't think that happens. It doesn't. If Julius Randle can't be in 3 quarter less. And his numbers last night.
Julius Randle last night in 32 minutes scored 6 points. He was 2 of 11 from the floor, 0 of 3 from 3. Edwards was 1 of 9 from 3. Woody, man, you were there in the building watching it. The Thunder, surgical is the word we keep using here. Inevitable is sort of the way it feels. What do you see?
They just have a formula that is devastating. Shane gets to the foul line, he gets to the mid-range. In this particular game, we got great offensive production from his 2 and Jalen Williams. Met defensively, guys. They're just frustrating the Timberwolves so much. Julius Randle is frustrated, and Edwards is frustrated. Jaden McDaniels is frustrated defensively. You can see it in their demeanor. They're not making sweet finals. But I do think that's costing them a chance to get close to these games in the fourth quarter. And especially if they get some real tension if they go on. Ant-Man is continually getting 2 or 3 bodies in front of him.
Greg, that's what he does. He's got the dunker mentality. Absolutely tremendous athlete, able to go up and finish over the biggest of defenders.
The team through shot execution, everything are so terrific on the end of the floor.
I'm starting to wonder about this when I watch the games of Pistons and their overall offensive strategies. You can't be OKC when you're just playing 1v1 all the time. You can't play just 1v1 and then pass the threes. It doesn't feel like there are any sets, and there's no close side movement in order for them to get cuts to the basket. It just looks like it's ISO basketball all the time.
Because it is. And it's not going to work. Not against that defense. There are too many great individual defenders and help defenders all the time in confronting whoever has the ball. It was Julius Randle in game 1. Obviously, it was Ant-Man last night. To just shut down somebody else. They have to have an ensemble effort. The Timberwolves did. So it's not going to work just because you improve the shot quality of Anthony Edwards. That alone is going to do nothing. So Minnesota has to react to everything you just said. I mean, it's tangible, though. It's seeable. Coach knows in the staff. They know what they're seeing. Now, what are they going to do in terms of execution about that? You have to have Ant-Man and Randall and somebody. We just saw so Oklahoma City. When they have Jay Butler and Chuck playing like that last night, they're not going to compete this season.
Jay Hogan had 22 points last night. Jalen Williams had 26. One man, give me a final word on this game, too. I think what feels like a really commanding advantage for OKC.
You have to understand how well the Wolves are playing coming in here. They've won 19 of their last 22 games. They've demolished the Lakers. They've demolished the Warriors. They haven't lost 2 games in a row in 2 months. They got slapped right across the face. I just want to point out the all-defensive teams were announced yesterday. Jalen Williams is second team, Florida's first team. If I was allowed to vote because 65 games, I would have been on my ballot. I don't think Shea Alexander is one of their top 5 defenders. Casey Wallace is probably their 4th defender. That reality has absolutely been shell-shocking in so many ways. They're going to now pick themselves up and try to figure out some way to penetrate it into one another.
One last thing, and I think it's the biggest thing so far. It can't be after you beat the Lakers, Superman, Batman, Ant-Man, Lakers. Right. It can't be talking trash to the streets. It can't be after you beat
Steph, and that's LeBron at 40 and Luka doesn't play the defense, right? And a team that doesn't have the depth. And then you can't be after you beat Golden State that doesn't have Steph Curry with Jimmy Butler barking all the time. And then all of a sudden now you get towards a team like Wendy said, Lou Dort, first team all defensive team. Jalen Williams, second team all defensive team. And then you don't show up to the post-game presser and you don't have anything to say. You just step out. No, it can't be all barking, no bite. Not now. Not now. This is when we want you to do it now. This is when the woman really has to show itself, Mike.
But that's the flaw of Minnesota. We saw some of it last year. Even when they got out, they went to Denver and won the first 2 games. But basically, what happens? That series gets extended to 7. So they still have those moments where franchise, any time you spend at this point, and the team is veteran as Minnesota, reining in that and cleaning up those distractions instead of just concentrating on how in the hell do we deal with Oklahoma City's defense. That's all they should be dealing with instead of some of this other stuff. Just signs of immaturity still.
Sometimes 23 years old, and we forget, he's 23, and so it is what it is. We want him there's a part of us, I think, that wants him to take over the league.
And they better. They better. That's what I'm going to say as the answer to that.
The kick out to Billups. A three-pointer off the mark. Lakers shooting 43% since taking the floor today. Took him no time at all on that one. Hastings got his second bucket of the night.
Looking dangerous from deep.
And Kobe Bryant gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul. And Los Angeles with some changes. Theo Ratliff, he's just checked in for McGee. Barnes comes in for Artest. And Derek Fisher is subbed in for Hastings. Ty Lawson, he's checked in for the Nuggets. Denver calls timeout. Harper, he's checked in for Los Angeles. Big group substitution here for Denver. Evans, he's checked in for Anderson. Sheldon Williams comes in for Nene. Aaron Aflalo, he's checked in for J.R. Smith. And it's Calderon in for Ty Lawson. .137 left in the first. It's stolen by Bryant. And out of bounds as the Nuggets gain possession. The Lakers making a switch here. Hughes is checked in. Shot from the inbound. And they call the foul, so a chance at the line for one more coming up.
And a nice job here early of establishing an inside presence.
Theo Ratliff, he's just checked in for you. And Denver also making a switch. Ty Lawson, he's checked in for Aaron Aflalo. Fisher, the pass to Kobe. That one a tad offline to the right, but drops in for him. And that's now 6 points for Kobe Bryant. Lawson gets to Billups. And it's sent back by Ratliff. And now in transition is Fisher. Here we go. Odom against Billups. Barnes passes to Odom. Odom draws the double. 4 on the clock. Back to Bryant. And they force the shot clock violation. Great team. Vujacic is checked in for Los Angeles. And then for Denver. Anthony's checked in for Sheldon Williams. And it's Aflalo in for Chauncey Billups. Pass to Calderon. Anthony sets the pick for Calderon. It's hauled in by Los Angeles.
Well, he's much better than that. Really no excuse for missing that lane.
Kept alive. Here's Barnes off on the layup. Here's Anthony. Oh, and the jam by Anthony.
And we've seen several lead changes tonight. Neither team giving an inch. Yeah, and the lead has changed hands, and it just hasn't stayed in those hands very long when it's changed. Back and forth we go.
A lot of give and take between these sides early.
And both teams look like they came to play. We should have a good one.
So at the end of 1 quarter of play, still a close game. Los Angeles on top. They lead by 2. Live from the Staples Center, you're watching 2K Sports. What an atmosphere in here as we return to the action of the Western Conference Final. And now we'll get a perspective here on how the hustle game has been going for Los Angeles.
Their defense has been so aggressive right out of the gate, wasting no time shutting shooters down here with authority.
You know, points off turnovers is something else they've excelled in. I expect the opponent at least to try to squeeze that orange a little better.
That one falls.
Quick thinking from Anthony. He's so good at going right up with that shot.
And Los Angeles guys shooting at 50% in a decent group. Hastings, the pass to Kobe, buried from 15 feet out. Kobe's got his third bucket of the night.
That's good offense, just taking what the defense allows.
And Lawson, here we go. Kick out to a follow. The Nuggets moving the ball around. Anthony against Odom. Anthony dishes to a follow. Back to Anthony. Over Odom. Anthony's shot is off. The Lakers in the lead. Left side, Odom. That's in. He's got two made now, and he's shooting 2 for 3.
And what energy from Odom, just outworking the defense right there.
And Anthony with the basket on the assist by Calderon. Anthony's got 5 points now this quarter.
Another bucket. What a game this guy's having. I keep getting him the ball.
Here's Hastings. The kick out to Barnes. Pass to Vujicic. Back to Kobe. And misses it off the right side of the rim.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
Evans inside. Odom's there. The shot's good from Lawson.
Set the feet, spot up, excellent execution.
Welcome to the floor, the legendary, fantastic
Since we double fingers, but 2 people on the board. So it's like, what's the deal, bro? But the thing that I took from this game was that damn SBA is really, really good. But he's a point guard. You know, like they put him double team on me, making the right play. And you can get there with the ball so good. If he was playing point guard again, it made me
Smith subbed in for Jose.
And he number 1. Like, I remember I think I had Jalen Brunson over my and the way he controlled the game, because I forgot that he was actually a point guard, because I think he controlled the game. Like, there's nothing they can do. He got so frustrated. I mean, Mikey was here to pull up the push. But, like, Jaden Davis turned to the deep.
Defense got over anxious there.
These are his third and fourth free throw attempts in the game.
And they put it up in face.
He's a team first guy, willing to do whatever it takes to win.
That's some shit I would get, bitch. That's against all that motherfucker, too. I just wanted to fathom for real for once. You didn't care about a nigga in some Converse.
Hey, that's far. For you to get your first shoe and get MVP, save your far. That's more.
Bryant hits them both.
You said money work. Yeah, I'm feeling nothing.
And Denver has possession.
I ain't calling shit. I'm gonna make that call for him. Yeah, I'll take a lot of analysts who simply will say that they lost something in the fourth quarter they can take the rest of the series. Do y'all see that as well? Or it's quiet? I think him defensively, like getting the ball in his hands, like first play, like make him good, make some shots. I think he's good. I think it's 7 threes. Rotating the room, I'll make me good to make some plays. I'll get the ball to his hands.
Denver shooting their fourth and fifth shots at the foul line of the game. That free throw, no good.
He wanted to make 10 of them tonight. He's going to be out. Yeah, this will be a Lexington game for you for sure. This will be hard to do though. But not.
He's the second from the line.
Lights out score. This is incredible confidence.
If he hit 7 threes,
Such a skilled and explosive
I just watched Denver. I just watched the okay, we do it again.
Bryant against Smith. Outside our test.
He's not a bad player. I think he ain't. I'm not saying he is, but I'm just saying I'd rather him be one of those players. You gotta do something.
I don't even think they're saying that's the key to get rid of. They're saying do something else.
If he is big, he is standing. You gotta get the ball in the FJ. I don't know doing that. Getting 38 and 80 and 50. You gotta get the ball out of his hand quick. You gotta get the ball out of his hand and make other people play crazy. This is part of the most offensive player that got out there. You don't want to draw someone that doesn't really.
Another miss.
Who did the last one now?
Gone 3 of their first 5 shots to drop here in the second quarter.
I'm better.
With a screen on
I'm saying, I don't know if that's going
and it's our test missing. Nuggets
Most
trail.
definitely, just do something, scratch him or something.
Everybody said scratch.
As a Kentucky guard, so he had to be the first one saying MVP in the university. Ain't that kind of crazy? Because I don't think y'all saw how good he was going to be coming out of college.
6 to shoot.
Yes, he was asking if he's the best guard
That's a
that's
6 field goal today, and that makes him now 6 for 11.
Yeah.
Again,
His backball, he is.
lighting up the scoreboard.
John Wall, the best player on Kentucky. No, you say put all in the career.
It's stolen by Lawson. One-on-one here.
No, NBA is the best player in Kentucky basketball. Yeah, his career.
He's got the lead up to 2 now for the Nuggets.
You gotta love his
The best
hustle.
guard at the defense.
No time to react. And you know you can get those buckets, guys, when you're quick to get out on the break. Get that
At Kentucky, them fast are good. And he's got Ryan Mercer, Rex Chapman. That's cool.
So he dealt
And it's Hastings in for Derek Fisher. He's checked in for Denver. Phillips comes in for
He's the
him.
best player.
Here's Hastings.
Overall, he's the best player to come out of it.
Bro, the level just started. We're already getting overrun. I gotta take these guys out and build this crossbow tower as fast as possible. I don't even think I have a choice.
I'll get it. He about to be. You want to be a champion at MVP?
done well at taking advantage of some late
No.
defensive rotation.
Not bad, but ain't you want to make a maybe also like to see blocks and covers. Yeah. Hey, listen. AG. They have his own team and they have ass.
Fantastic finish.
Trying to set it as a
own
within
team.
slam, I think.
That's exactly how you send it. 2 hands, get down.
Here's Hastings. He's got 7.
Blue Holiday. Ray John Rondo.
Here's Hastings.
Way better. Their team was way better than this team.
I think the effort on defense there has everything to do with
That team was loaded.
Phillips to the middle. Here's Smith. Hastings grabs the ball. Los Angeles has gone over 2.
He made his first out. He made
Once against our test. Stolen by Phillips. And it's our test with the foul. That is his first foul of the game.
I got a squad. I can do how they run.
Denver's gone 1 from 55 seconds left in the first half.
That's a big ass.
Phillips passes to Smith. Back to Phillips.
Some chicks,
He lobs it up.
he made
It's
it. He
deflected.
made it perfect. Can't take that away. Down. We gotta play harder niggas down, bro. He is playing with James.
Might have been an easy if the
He was
defense
a better player, bro.
It's out of bounds. He's touched by Bryant. McGee's checked in for the Lakers. Saul comes
Before
in
this
for Lamar
season,
Odom.
actually last year they were.
Checked in for Denver.
Yeah, but you taking him with you out of that. At
And
that
they
time.
pick up 2. 8 points for today.
and they're beginning
It's
to
a great spot. It's taking you out. It's taking you out. Not that year. That one year he was a Pelicans. He was fucking killing.
Pushing it up. Here's Los Angeles.
Killing.
And here's
Locking Dave
Kobe
up.
from the
Killing.
arc. Rebound by Smith.
Man, you're not like 40 right now. I'm talking about that. We talking about when Anthony Davis had that same team.
Can't get that one to
Oh, really? That for the championship? That's a funny conversation.
He got double digits for the quarter with 10 points total. And
man.
we'll be up with you shortly. So glad to have you with us here as we bring you more action from courtside at Game 5. Carmelo Anthony really has his fingerprints all over this one.
Man, he's been running wild on him through that first half. Absolute dynamite on offense.
And you know what? I'll be interested to see just how much he's got left in the tank. That first half had to take a lot out of him.
Tonight's real serious. You know what I'm saying? Catch these niggas game too loud in the guard.
I got something to say about it.
We've got second half action for you.
Yeah, this bullshit ass game. This 2B classic. You know, these series they giving us. Back to real basketball. Go ahead, brother. You know what? Everybody mad at me in Indianapolis. Yes. They're shitty. Y'all niggas do not like the Pacers. Because I've been talking about these niggas all year. Yes. I don't matter. That's how I know these niggas is fake. I've been talking about these niggas all year, every day. And I only do it for one reason. This nigga.
Y'all got to like all these other teams. That's like bomb teams.
I play for the Pacers. And I like the Pacers. I just don't like this nigga about the Pacers. You don't like it. I'm just saying the same people all year. Y'all ain't said a word.
He lays it in. Hastings got 9. And not even 3/4 of the way. So many lead changes. Now here's Anthony. He's got 17.
You know what's absolutely none of you niggas, you know what's absolutely hilarious. I think like coaching. I think they're not coaching. I fucking see is actually good. Everybody outside, man. Somebody went to the Facebook, like, who had looking for something? I gotta watch the show.
Makes it all y'all, celebrate.
So y'all can go to jail.
Look at the franchise. He's absolutely
y'all all gonna look at things with the world. It's still
crazy, but y'all overstepping this Pacer shit is quiet, bro.
And we're about to the half here.
Every day. You on the internet, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, every day. You niggas was stepping like this.
Nah, hell no.
Stop you repping that.
Yeah, I got
19 points.
I feel like you already getting out there.
Beating up the fights. Only what they feel crazy. And he said, one nigga said, well, if he be outside, nigga, you would move from the city and you would fuck with the Pacers right now. These niggas niggas walking. Well, I think it's
Jumping defender. Los Angeles shooting their 5th and 6th.
Now, what about it? Not about you over the top.
I'm rolling, though, for y'all. Y'all fuck with the city. Yeah,
it's great for the city. I'm like, y'all niggas, like, y'all take this serious.
It really ain't about the paper. Really, about the crib, bro.
And he makes both free throws.
Just like the Knicks, when they out, I think the trash can.
Niggas is like that every year. Every year.
They win. It's crazy. But if I put the one half of drop, they look fans and seven. They're not the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Passed in a name.
Everything that's right. Black people.
Outside Phillips.
I swear to God, that didn't play it. And then when I spent something like that, it was not bad. You know what's rocking? And we play for a home. Nigga was like, look, we brought this in. Look at your face. Bring it back, look at the fuck you up. So let's get that. Look, all y'all niggas want to put it like anyway. And then move back here. We can get to but tonight, for the next one thing I do is get the
They just
got close.
They going to the bag.
And
Here's Los Angeles now. They're on 12-4.
No, I can't hit him. No, he picked him up and good with it.
Here's Hastings.
Just like, oh, we got fouled the last dunk, and then they call it. Okay, yeah, well. double, but it's okay. Great highlight.
He got shit. Double. He got like a motherfucker. But he got fouled.
Well, LeBron stay practice.
Offside, Billups.
That's my fault.
He definitely double.
But it's okay.
Answers up. Yeah, it's no problem. LeBron is fucking
Yeah, bro. Jordan pushed off. All the great highlights got asterisks. Now we compare his highlights to Mike. That's very lucky. That's it. See, this is where it happens. See?
Here's Hastings. Coming by Smith. Here's Hastings. 13 points in the game.
This is where I go off the hinges. Because they start comparing Halliburton to Michael Jordan.
So the next thing is you got to run that play.
They had some botched coverage that turned
This is shit I got to live with. This is double.
Now here's our 7-point game, the biggest lead in the game.
Why they got team yet against people? That's like that.
That time.
Man, I'm fucking glad. Look at that shit. What the fucking
Pass to Gasol.
Let's turn that shit up.
For the way out 2 years.
And you know, the only reason because he used our voice for that fucking thing. Stop that with all Hooper Hills. That ain't gonna room for him. So I ain't gonna room for Aaron Smith and Miles Turner. That was my guy. And Miles Turner, you got number 11. You came on the shot. All right, moving past got to do it tonight.
The block shots.
He's doing the ball, bro. Play fast. Keep using the whole team. Run bad, bro. Keep running. Keep running down.
Austin's checked in.
Thinking the ball tonight? Nah, I think it's a good game, but next one.
I feel like the Knicks do win tonight. They have to win tonight.
Can't do much better than that.
If the Panthers get this one,
Denver
it's
calls
over.
timeout.
I was going to ask you, for Mustang game for New York tonight? It's the Mustang. That's Mustang? Yeah, Mustang. Because Indiana going to win both games here. Indianapolis. What is the Mustang?
Did they come here and win 2 games?
Oh, New York? No, they're not going to win. What's that called that place? Game? Yeah, they going to the bridge.
Hell of names, too.
Yeah, thank you for life. I think it was like Field House. Yeah, it was Bankers when I was here.
Ghetto ass spot. Like,
Rebranded. Like, and when they get with you, got rebranded. What's the new spot? What's Lava New shit called? It was called Lust. Wet. South Dakota. Go all the way if you're old enough in the city, you know what club wet is.
Get out of pocket.
It's been a minute since I called. Hey, yo, niggas, what's up?
Oh, we winning, bro.
Okay.
Better. We winning. It's over. Y'all had a good season, though, on me. Fire season.
Yeah, what's going to happen? Hold on, this is just the top. What's going to happen if the Knicks win the series? Or niggas going to cheer and blah. Let's go play some good shit. They going to say, I said, y'all have come up short.
RDM is going to be crazy.
Yeah, so they're going to be like, man, they always do this shit to us. Yeah.
Do shit for the city anyway. Like,
yes.
New York, all that shit.
That's exactly what happens.
Yeah, I'm ready for it, bro.
You the only Knicks fan, though. Why? He a Knicks fan.
Stop riding for this thing.
Oh, no, where I'm at, I'll never forget.
He might be yellow.
I ain't gave up yet. Hey, I still believe. See, they ain't real niggas. Mike Colley from the Nat, man. Niggas, they ain't a rep for him. What's wrong with y'all niggas? Mike Colley is ready to go home. Mike Colley live in Columbus. Like, I was like, come here, Bow Wow. Prison hotel.
No, but if the Pacers make it shit, bro, I ain't gonna lie.
It's up.
That'd be fun.
I go to a finals game. Keep the bad vibes away.
Yeah.
We don't need some of y'all up. No, I really hope the Pacers make it to the final stuff.
I mean, I don't.
Just so OKC can show what's up.
I just think that'd be fire for the city. The real fans.
All right, when we get past the next, we're going to talk about the OKC matchup. I'm going to chill out for now, though. I'm going to relax, but that's going to be a tough. Yeah. I ain't going to lie. They are tough. He ain't ducking shit. Yeah, he ain't ducking shit.
So your job expects you to be on time for work every day, but wants you to just wait 2 weeks for your paycheck? If you need $100 to make it through the day, you are not alone. There's an app I love called Earn It, and with it, you can get up to $750 in between paydays. It's your pay, your pace. You just verify your identity, spin this wheel right here, and boom, money's in your account. Your money is transferred right to your linked bank account. There's no credit check, no interest, and you can choose what you tip if you like the experience. Get what you need to make your day right. Download Earn It and make it payday. Trust me, your future self will thank you, especially when the snacks run out.
Hey, Quinn! What, do you remind you of the donkey that killed your mom?
I'm gonna kill him.
Oh my God, everybody look! Quinn's got no dance art!
I live in a world where everyone has superpowers. Everyone except me.
Excuse me.
Jennifer. I've been in love with her since the first grade. She's so beautiful. This gives me the last chance to say what I feel. Wait, are you doing anything?
Do you have a crush on me? Aren't you a level 1?
Yeah. But it's not like that. I'm just...
Do you even have an ability?
Well, no.
Or a mansion? Who are you even?
We've been in the same class since first grade.
Well then, let me spell it out for you. N-O.
Hey, I'm tired of being a pushover. Hopefully with this, I can change things. Teach my bullies a lesson. The most important thing is to open this book given to me by my dead parents. But it just won't open. Let's give it one last try. Okay, so far no reaction. I don't know why I keep trying. Damn it. Oh. So my parents wanted to taunt me with an ability book from beyond the grave. They could have at least left instructions. What the hell is happening?
Congratulations. You have been granted the vampire system. Also, complete.
What's going on with this out? What happened last night?
What y'all so
You ever seen? Oh yeah, gas it up. I'm rolling with it. You should. Dyson Daniels, man. To me, it should have been DPOY. Yeah, average 3 steals a game. Crazy. No disrespect to Edmo, we had a hell of a year, but Dyson Daniels was going crazy. Historic defensive season for sure, man. But shout out to them. I want to ask y'all, if I could pick one of them teams that have your squad, which one are you taking? First. They don't guard. Ooh, that second team.
Yeah, I'm locked in the first team. Yeah, get some type of bucket.
Somebody gonna.
Remember, Nightcap doesn't happen without you. So please subscribe or you're going to make Ocho cry. The Timberwolves just got beat by the Thunder. Ash wrote that backwards. But anyway, 118 to 103. Shea was sensational again tonight. 38 points on 12 of 21 shooting. 1 or 2 from the three-point line. He's aggressive as always, 13 of 15 from the free throw line. But he got great help from Jalen Williams, 12 of 20, 26 big points. Chet Holmgren, 22 big points. Jalen Williams also chipped in. He was their leading rebounder. He had 10 rebounds. Count them up, 10 rebounds. Minnesota Ant was very inefficient. He did have 32 points, Ocho and Leroy, but took him 26 shots to get it. 1 of 9 from the three-point line.
What's up, guys? Dimitri Vegas here. My brand new track, 2 Times, together with Steve Aoki, is available now on TikTok, and I can't wait to see all the amazing creations you guys are gonna come up with.
Line. Remember the other night, I think he was 1 for 7 from the 3-point line, and Julius just didn't have it tonight. This is by far his worst game in the postseason thus far. 2 of 11 from the floor, 0 of 3 from the 3-point line, only 6 points. And that's not good enough to get it done. I thought the bench played extremely well, gave him 35 big points tonight, Ocho.
Yeah.
It was the starter that let him down. Mike Conley, 3 points. Rudy Gobert. Now all of a sudden he don't look like Will Chamberlain. He doesn't look like Shaquille O'Neal when he got competent centers out there against him. And Julius again said he only had 6 points. Roy, I'm gonna start with you. I watched this game, Ocho. I watched this game extremely, extremely close because I wanted to see something. I'm not sure Minnesota can get more than a game if they can get that. Because the game will be close, Ocho, and the next thing you know, they'll dart off and they'll be up by 15. They will it back down to 6, and then they take off again and they'll be up by 14. Watching this game, I'm convinced they can't win this series, but I'm not sure they can get more than a game, if that. Roy, watching this game, what is it that's been so impressive? And they've been impressive all year, so I guess we shouldn't really be surprised by the Thunder. 68 wins in the regular season, the MVP. They got a defensive player of the year, all defensive player in Lou Dort. What is it that OKC is doing to make it seem like Minnesota doesn't really belong on the court with them?
Well, to me, to be honest with you, it's like the defense. Around the 3-point line, as soon as Anthony Edwards crosses the 3-point line, there's bodies around him. So, like, the open space, the drives to be able to, like, get to the basket and have the explosion and dunk at the rim, those opportunities definitely are not there. And then the second thing for me is obviously just the guys like Caruso. I mean, you guys played sports, and as much as the superstars play well, they need like the ancillary players, the role players to play well. Wallace, Dort, Jalen Williams, he's an all-star. But on the defensive end, they were hunting out and playing the passing lanes, looking for tips and deflections. You know, they only said they have 9 steals here, but I feel like they should have at least a lot more on the stat sheet, because any pass over the top to get to Julius Randle, Dort would sniff it out, and then it would lead to a transition bucket. Or Jalen Williams, he'd be up in the defense, getting deflections, getting tips. I think he should have way more than, I think, 2 steals that he has on the night. But he was getting out, leading the offense through their defense.
He was, and I think the thing is that you're right. They're loading up. They're not letting Anthony Edwards slither through those creases, get to the basket, Ocho, where he can get the and-ones. He got a couple tonight, but they're doing a great job of loading up on him, and they've got very active hands. You see every time Rudy Gobert get off his rebound, they slap it out, they get it going the other way. And when you turn the ball over against a team that's good, that have great wing players, that means they're in transition before you know it, because they're taking the ball away at the top of the key, the 3-point line. So they don't got very far to go. It's not one outlet laying up at the other end. Yeah. Ocho, you picked Minnesota.
Yeah, man.
What's been the most disappointing thing? Because they've been very disappointing. These games really haven't been close. What's been the most disappointing thing when you're watching Minnesota that you're like, damn, this ain't the team that beat the Lakers 4-1. This is not the team that beat the Warriors and made it and did it convincingly. What is it that's been most disappointing watching?
Inconsistency. One game, Julius Randle, he goes off, he goes crazy. Then we have another game where Anthony Edwards, he's been efficient. He's been inefficient in both games. He's putting up points, but he's taking a lot of shots to get those points. He's not very efficient from the field in these past 2 games. His help, he's not getting much help collectively from the starters as well. The bench is doing okay, but the starters need to contribute a little bit more often, as opposed to to offset what Chet and Jalen Williams and Shea are doing out there. Outside of that, I mean, Anthony Edwards is being aggressive as he can. But defensively, they're smothering them. They're contesting every shot, and they're making it very difficult for Anthony Edwards to get to the hole and get the points that he is getting. After these past 2 games, and looking at it, I'm kind of nervous for making my pick for picking the Wolves. I thought they would have played much better. SGA showing why he is the MVP, being very efficient from the field and getting everyone else involved as well. And collectively as a team, defensively, I mean, they're doing what they've done all season long. They've won 68 games for a reason in season, and to see the Wolves down 2-0, I'm kind of shocked. I shouldn't be shocked, but I kind of am, thinking that the Wolves will play a little better, especially after winning the previous series 4-1. And I'm kind of sad a little bit.
Yeah, I think the thing is for me is that they're doing a great job of turning Minnesota over, and they're doing a great job of taking care of the basketball. They forced 14 turnovers, turned those into points. They only had 6 turnovers. And the difference is that this is a team, and like we talk about this all the time. You look at their wing guys, they're loaded with wing defenders. They got 6 quality guys on a given. Forget the starters. When they come in with their role players, they come in with Caruso. They come in with Wallace. They come in with Isaiah Joe. They come in with Wiggins. Bro, those are elite. They're elite defenders on the wing. Yeah. And you see, I mean, their deflections and tips. Even if they don't steal the ball, Ocho, now because they've got a deflection, they've taken 3, 4, 5 seconds off the shot clock. Now you in a rush to get into your set to try to get a quality shot. They make you pay for every turnover, every bad shot that you take. You throw up something, and all of a sudden you hit the floor. They got the ball. It's ahead, and the next thing you know, they're laying it up at the other end. Go ahead, Roy.
Hey, I want to say, in terms of the Timberwolves, Anthony Edwards didn't do it too much this game, but from the last, 3 or 4 games, I feel like at the beginning of the game, when he gets to the basket, before he even feels the contact, he's screaming, looking for the refs to bail him out, and he misses those chippies around the rim. I've seen him go body to body and just dunk on people. I know that's not always how it goes, but he has that finesse Euro step and everything like that. And the next thing I will say.
Tired of watching your crypto shrink with every trade? Kraken keeps fees low, so you keep stacking your coins. You were just named the best crypto exchange by Forbes. With high liquidity, your trades happen in seconds, not hours. On Kraken, you can access over 275 coins, from Bitcoin to altcoins, backed by a proven track record of uptime, transparency, and top-tier security. So stop waiting, stop overpaying, and trade smarter with Kraken.
Tired of waiting for payday? The Earnin app gets you paid as you work. You can get up to $150 per day with a max of $750 between paydays with no interest and no credit checks. So whether you need cash for bills and groceries today or you're planning for tomorrow, Earnin helps you get the most out of every day. It's your pay, your way. Because let's face it, life is full of surprises. Download Earnin and make any day payday.
Say is I'm a little bit harder on big guys, and I think something that you said earlier on about Gobert playing against competent bigs. When I look at Isaiah Hartenstein and his good connection with Chet, man, that left-handed push floater is elite around around the middle of the zone and all around that baseline, and then the fact that he can have that little hot push shot and then also have that high-low lobs to Chet is great. But those bigs, are doing well. I need to see Gobert make better decisions when he's rolling to the basket, when he catches the ball, when he does dribble, because obviously he's not a great offensive threat, but he needs to give you a little bit something more than just dump off passes or just tip backs. He needs to have good, ball possession and make good decisions or good crisp passes, hit people on the numbers.
Hey, Roy, even though Roy is a liability. Is the word I want. Excuse me. My bad, Roy. Even though Rudy's a liability, my bad. Even though Rudy's a liability offensively, You know, he seems so unorthodox on the offensive end, but they're passes that are in there for layups, for putbacks that he should be able to make, especially in a game of this magnitude, as important as his game is. And it just seems he's so out of sync unless he's on the defensive end, you know, outside of, you know, tipping the ball back in or catching a rebound and kicking it back out. Like he has to be better in those games where he had 27. And in the previous game where he had 24 in the last series, we need some of that magic in order for them to have a chance. Because outside of Ant, man, and Julius has to be on point.
Yeah, Julius has to play better every game. Yeah.
Outside of those two, it ain't looking good right now, man.
The problem is that when Rudy had that 27-point, 24 rebound game, it made you forget. In Utah, he was unplayable in the fourth quarter. Last year, he was unplayable in the fourth quarter. It seems that people forgot that. He's never been an offensive guy. And now he's not really giving you anything defensively. He had one block. So if he's not giving you anything defensively, what is his purpose? What is his use? Nothing. I mean, he's got to be able to give you, Roy, he got to give you something on one end or the other. Yeah, you'd like to have him give you 12 points, 12 rebounds, 4 blocks, and some alters. He's not giving you any of that. And what happened in the Lakers series, it made everybody forget that Rudy Gobert has been basically his entire career unplayable in the fourth quarter in playoff games. That's his story. We saw him against the Clippers. We see him in the playoffs. And for some reason, people forgot, man, Rudy done turned it. No, he hasn't. He's playing against a team that didn't have bigs or didn't have competent bigs. And so now he's able to play 30, 34 minutes.
Right.
Man, Rudy normally plays 20 minutes. And come fourth quarter time, he ain't nowhere near the floor. Yeah, standing up when they call timeout, he's standing up, looking over everybody's shoulders, like, hey, y'all get that now, because, I ain't coming back out there. He's got to give you more. I mean, you think about it, this man gave you tonight, Ocho, he gave you 5 points, 9 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 block.
Damn.
In 30 minutes. 1 block. You talk about a 4-time defensive player of the year. And Shea getting to the basket at will. That's not supposed to happen. Okay, Jalen Williams getting to the basket at will. Hey, but damn, bro, you supposed to be guarding. The rim is the money. You're security. You top flight security. He said, hey, y'all, come on in here, get that right there. Go on in there. Don't have that right. Yeah, I ain't finna hold you. I'm looking at him like, bro. And see, the thing is that he's never been, Roy, and correct me if I'm wrong, when I think of Rudy Gobert, I don't think about a great on-ball defender. I think of a great help defender. Yeah. Because if you look at bigs that he go against, they cook his ass. Every big that he goes against, cook it. I ain't saying you got to stop Jokic, but you can't let him have 47 and 20. I ain't saying you got to stop Joel Embiid, but you can't let him get 35 and 19. Every big. Now, when he goes against somebody, now he's going against a Rui, or he got to play against LeBron. He got to play against, Vanderbilt. Oh, he just eating. I'm like, damn, look at Will Chamberlain. Now look at this right here. Again, they're gonna have, and he's their biggest player. So, and unless you come in with Naz Reid, and Naz is really not a back to the basket. He's not a low post. He prefers to be like a stretch 5 on the wing. That's where he likes to play. Occasionally, if you get a mismatch, he'll go. He did a lot more driving on the basketball, a lot more playing with his back to the basket because he had a mismatch. But if they don't get anything out of Rudy Gobert, something offensively or defensively, Julius Randle can't give you 6. He needs to give you, if Ant-Man gave you 32, he needs to give me 24 to 28. And that's the only way they're going to have a chance. When you got Shea got 38, you got Jalen Williams got 26, and Chet got 22, that's the only way you're going to have a chance. I don't believe they can win this series, Roy, but it's hard at watching this game. Really, really like watching it and watching what they do. It's just hard for me to see them winning a game.
Hey, Roy and Unc, man, that goddamn SGA, man, I knew he was nice. I knew he was nice, but, man, he breaking the Wolves' spirit out there, man, defensively. They had no answer for him. Man, he get to his spots, he drawing fouls, he's freezing the defenses, he
put that elbow on him.
That forearm.
He creates some space.
He create that space with that shoulder like Carmelo a little bit. Man, I'm like, his toolbox is crazy. He got a crazy toolbox. And ISO Joe talk about the midi being somewhat non-existent in most of the players. Man, his mid-range game is crazy, y'all. His midi is crazy. Them easy points. His midi, he get about 11, 12 points just on mid-range alone, outside of threes and driving.
Because he works on it. Everybody else want to be at the basket or they want to shoot the three. Nobody really works on the midi. Look at the guys that really work at the midi. Yeah. Look at Kawhi. Nice. Mm-hmm. Look at Shea. Nice. Look at guys that really work at the mid-range. You got to really work at it. Just like you put time in and shooting those threes, put time in and working on the threes. Roy, you had a point you wanted to make. Go ahead.
No, I mean, everything Ocho said was exactly right. But to me, also, like the mental side of the game, too, seeing the guys get frustrated and just push Shea to the ground and get a sense of technical.
Yeah,
get your ass creeping down into their minds, and that to me is like another thing. Like, you're just wearing them down. I think the Timberwolves will get a game at their home, but I agree with you. I find it hard to believe that they can win this series. Now, with Gobert not being able to play to the level that he has in the past defensively, I would think they would go small with Nas or with Julius. And the fact that they haven't been playing that well, I don't know where they go from here for the next game. I look at my Pacers last night. Miles Turner, who I love, who actually, they drafted to get my ass up out of there. Totally respect him and everything. He actually, I feel like he was selfless. He didn't have a great game, but he wasn't in the game a majority in the third and the fourth quarter. And you know what? The Celtics, but the Pacers went small with Toppin and Mathurin at the.
Relax and recharge with a new mattress from Ashley. Discover the all-new Sealy Posturepedic collection and save $1,000 for a limited time. Plus, get $300 Ashley cash with a premium mattress purchase. Your best sleep starts here, only at Ashley.
Ready to lose the hat and regrow the hair? With Serums by Hims, you can regain your hair and your confidence. Our serums are powered by clinically proven ingredients like minoxidil and finasteride, so you can grow thicker, fuller hair in 3 to 6 months. Your treatment is 100% personalized to your hair goals and comes at an affordable price that works for your budget, so you can step out with full confidence. Hats off to hair.
At the 4 and the 5 for a little bit, Pascal. So I feel like the Timberwolves don't have a reliable 4 or 5 that can come in and take Rudy's spot that can give you some good minutes like my Pacers did last night.
Well, and they played TB. Thomas Bryant came in and gave him some quality minutes last night also, and I think that's what you have to have. It's kind of hard because if you go small and you're talking about your Pacers, you go small against the Pacers, and they mess around and go all of a sudden they go Cat and they go Mitchell Robinson. Now you're in a world of hurt.
Yeah.
Because now they about to play. They just about to get paid tap and rebound and kick out. Even if they take out Cat, they go Mitchell Robinson. If you take it's hard. Because all he's doing is looking for lobs and to give you extra chance. The Knicks are a big team because if you go Cat, you go OG, you got Mikal Bridges who's 6'7". They got some athletic guys. So if you go small, relatively small, if you say, you know what, we're gonna start Nas, then where you going? You gonna play Jaden McDaniels at the 5 spot because he's the next tallest guy.
Yeah.
Unless you play Drew Randall at the 5, and then you got him trying to bang. Okay, maybe he bangs with Hartenstein and Chet. That's maybe probably Hartenstein, but they just got to get more production. Yeah. Rudy Gobert got to give them more than 5 and 9. Mike Conley 1 for 6, 1 for 4. That's not nearly good enough. And Julius Randle can't ever just give you 6 points. He's too good. He's been too good. He's been exceptional these playoffs. But like you said, Ocho, Shea tonight, 5 straight games of at least 30 points. He had 38-8 with 3 steals, 31 points, 5 rebounds, 9 assists, 35 points, 4 assists, 3 steals, 32, 3 and 6, 31, 6 and 7. First player in franchise history with 5 consecutive 30-point playoff games. Tonight, he made more free throws, 13, than the Wolves starters, 12.
Hey, Oh, man, the boy toolbox. And we talk about him going to the free throw line so much. But when he put the ball on the floor, he is able to create every time he gets the ball. Every time he gets the ball. I'm trying to understand how it's so easy for him to get ISOs or to have people pick. And it's so goddamn difficult for Anthony Edwards to ISO. There's very little creation when Ant has the ball. You're not telling me. Huh? Go ahead.
Go ahead, Ocho. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, you're not telling me when it comes to when he. Oh my goodness! When SGA gets the ball, it just seems every time, not every so often, every time he's able to get ISO. He's able to create separation. If he can't get the ISO, he's able to get it off the pick and the roll. He gets to his spot. He's so fucking efficient from the goddamn field. It seems like everything is working for him. Then on the opposite side, I'm like, well, goddamn, why is it so difficult for Ant not only to get ISOs? When he can't get ISO, then he has very little creation because defensively, they so goddamn long and lengthy. It's goddamn hard just to get a goddamn shot.
Well, the team, the Thunder are loading up. And you see the difference is that they got perimeter wing defenders. They switch 1 through 5. Where Rudy gonna go? He can't make no threes. So I'm not worried about him. He's not an offensive wet. So they say, look, now one or two things, you either gonna have to blitz him or trap him and make him give the ball up. Because if you let him play they're letting him play too much one-on-one right now. If you let him play one-on-one, he's gonna get his average 30 plus 30. He averaged 32.7, and you shoot an efficient. Now he's back at the 50%. You're not beating him. You let him get his numbers, and you let him be efficient while he's getting his numbers. Ocho, you're not beating this team. J-Dub tonight, 26, 10, and 5. His first ever 25, 10, 5 game. You got Chet, gave you 22. Bro.
And they were 9 for 33 from the three-point line, too. So it's not like they were knocking down threes and there was so much space you had to go tag a shooter. You have most dangerous shooter. That's 27% from the three-point line is not a good night, and they were still able to get whatever they wanted.
I think the biggest thing is because they're able to play 5-on-4. Because Rudy, they know Rudy's not an offensive threat. So why am I guarding him? Okay, Ocho, I want you to ask me again. Why am I guarding him when he's not an offensive threat?
Right. You're right.
Either he's going to catch a lob or he's going to try to get a putback. And the thing is, it takes him so long to unwind, so by the time he tries to bring the ball up, they slap down, they got the ball out going the other way. How many times we saw that tonight?
Yeah, you're right. Hey, Anthony Edwards got to be on point. He's doing what he does. Even if you're not efficient, you got to keep putting up points. He
was aggressive. I'll give him that. He was aggressive. Look, I think he's selling too much. He got some of that, the thing that happened was he took more threes this year. He led the NBA and made threes.
Mm.
He kind of and sometimes I think he falls in love with it a little too much.
Right.
But at some point in time, we just got to come to the realization that the Thunder has been the best team in the West, and hoping and wishing and somebody, they do this. Shea is on damn near every night, and I can see he's gonna get to the foul line.
Yeah,
he's getting to the foul line. They shot 24. They shot 24 free throws. He had 15 attempts. He's doing. That's what we want. That's what we want to see, Ocho. Okay, how did you get there? At least Shea is like, you know what? I'm the MVP. Let me show you why I'm the MVP. I was efficient, shot almost 52% from the floor. I led the league in scoring. It seems like every night that he plays, he's in the 30s. Sometimes they're not always the most efficient.
Right.
But he's putting pressure on your defense. He can also pass the ball when he had 8 assists tonight. And guys knocked down shots. Jalen Williams knocked down shots. Chet knocked down shots. They shot 50% from the floor. But I don't think you can beat them. If you shoot 41% from the floor, 28% from the 3, and you turn the ball over 14 times against this team, you're going to get to what you got.
Every time.
A double-digit loss.
Mm-hmm.
You get double-digit loss. Ain't no way around it, Ocho. I wish I could give you some better news for your team, but I can't.
We get some better play from that bench. We gotta have Conley. Conley gotta show up, man. DiVincenzo, he gotta show up and do what he does. Hit some of those threes, create some separation, and doing what he needs to do. And just continue to be aggressive. Julius Randle continue to be aggressive and hope your supporting cast shows up. And it's an uphill battle from this point now.
Yeah.
Uphill battle. You might well throw everything in the kitchen sink at him.
No, Hits didn't play bad. They got 3 guys. They only played 3 guys tonight, and they gave him 35 points off the bench. They only got 17 points off the bench, so you basically doubled them up from bench score.
Yeah.
But when you have a starter your other starters outside of Jay McDaniels and Ant-Man, who gave you 54, you got 14 points from your other 3 starters. 14 points. That bro. In a playoff game? Unless Nas Reed go crazy and make 6 or 7 threes.
Hey TikTok, it's Alan Walker, and if you want to get this or this, search Alan Walker on TikTok and tap the banner right now.
Even Chenzo lets you get like 50
all seniors
points
on Medicare.
And it's hard. Think about it. They only play 8 guys.
Loaded with $3,300.
So to get 50 points from 3 guys is asking an
12
awful
hours
lot.
left before they miss out. If you do not register for your card in time,
I expect to
you will have to wait another
back game.
24
Like I said,
months
this is the worst
to get
game
it.
that
For
we've
those
seen
who are
from him
not
in the
aware,
postseason,
every senior on
this year thus
Medicare
far.
is entitled
The
to a
last 4
free
players to record
$3,300 spending
10
card,
rebounds,
which can
5
be used
assists,
in
0
any
turnover
store to pay
game,
for their
and a
food.
conference final.
Simply click below and follow the instructions
Shaq,
to get your free
Jason Tatum,
$3,300 spending card in the mail today.
Pretty good company. Pretty good company to be in. Points off turnovers this series. Thunder, 53. Wolves, 20. Ant-Man stayed up till 3 a.m. watching film of Game 1. He'd probably be up till 5 watching film of Game 2. He just got, like you said, look, the thing is, Ocho, the guy once told me, he said, you know what, Chad, I can go win any war if you give me the right tools to go to battle with. Ant-Man going to war, I'm not so sure he got the tools around him right now that's ready to go to battle with him. They're sitting out there to battle, and he alone right now. Julius is going to have to be better. I expect him to be better. But Mike Conley can't give us 3. He can't. Rudy, you got to give us. Rudy got to give us at least a double-double, Roy. I don't think that's asking too much. Am I asking too much, Roy, for a double-double?
I mean, look at Mitchell Robinson. He grabs offensive rebounds, and I want to see the battle between free throw shooting between Gobert and Mitchell Robinson. And the New York fans just love Mitchell every time he goes to the free throw line because they see the effort. And I know I'm drawing a distinction between these 2 teams and these 2 players, but look at Mitchell when he actually gets into a switch. Thibodeau feels comfortable with him out there guarding perimeter players. He gets down in his stance. He gets low. He can move his feet. Yes, sometimes he puts 2 hands on the body at the end of the play, and he might pick up a foul, but he's competent out there and he's able to move. So, I mean, they're similar type of players, but one player, I'm just going to leave it at that.
Yeah. In other words, Rudy stealing.
Hello and welcome to Hoop Collective Podcast. We talk about the NBA, which we're doing on Friday morning in the middle of the night, I would say. Joining us from New York City, where we saw one of the craziest playoff games in NBA history on, about 26 hours ago, is Tim Bontemps.
The end of this podcast made a prediction about when the beginning of this podcast would start.
That's right.
It was bang on. That's all I'm going to say. Go on.
We taped the end of this podcast many hours ago, so we're all smarter and older. Joining us from Oklahoma City, across the street from where I'm at right now, is Bam McMahon.
Howdy, partners, and I would like to point out that I hit the under as far as my readiness for the start of this, and somebody was shuffling around his hotel room where he'd just been maxing and relaxing while I was working away.
Yeah, I was working too.
McMahon signed on to the podcast 1 minute under the exact number that I said that the pod would start at, and he muted his microphone twice in the intervening 3 minutes before Brian signed on. So
you of all people should know you can be proud of 1 minute.
Oh my God! All right, I wouldn't say the Wolves are too proud right now. They're down 0-2 to the Thunder after. An impressive performance by the Thunder, but also at the same time, I would call it a paint by numbers. The Thunder did with exactly what they do. They defended. They frustrated the Wolves up and down their lineup. Shea got to the foul line, scored 30-something points. It happened to be 38, which tied his playoff career high, but Shea looks the same whether he scores 31 or 37 or 38. Got to the mid-range.
I think it's worth just saying. I think it's just worth saying his line just for across the board. The day after he got the MVP award, 38 points, 8 assists, 1 turnover, plus 25 in 41 minutes and 47 seconds on 12 for 21 shooting from the field, only 1 for 2 from 3. So basically all those shots from 2-point range, and going 13 for 15 from the foul line. That is a heck of a line.
And he had 3 steals.
And 3 steals.
And 1 turnover in 42 minutes of playing point guard.
It's pretty good.
So that's pretty much the type of game. It may have been like, an A- game. He's had better games, but an A- game. And that's why he's the MVP. Because
look, he got the MVP trophy. The crowd roared. His teammates went crazy, and then he played the part.
Exactly.
A complete MVP type of performance. But you know what? You know who else played the part? All-star Jalen Williams.
Oh my God.
We 26, 10, and 5.
12 by numbers
from the floor. Big part of the defense.
0 turnovers.
Yeah, Chet Holmgren had I don't have his line right in front of me. Chet
22.
Holmgren, there you go. Chet Holmgren, I mean, just the chaos they create defensively. But to me, like Shea playing the part of MVP, obviously, that's what I wrote about. Like, that's huge. But, he's the number one reason why the Thunder are 6 games away from the franchise's first championship. But he needs his guys with him, and he needs his all-star sidekick. And look, man, Jalen Williams had a rough series for the most part against the Denver Nuggets. Really came through for him in Game 7, and this was a hell of a J-Dub performance. And both Shea and Jalen Williams are just picking apart the Timberwolves in the mid-range. Just picking apart the Timberwolves in the mid-range. And look, those are, if Rudy's in the game, he wants to be in drop. He's never been a guy who's had a lot of success or a lot of comfort challenging these guards in that mid-range area, and these two dudes just shredded the Timberwolves there.
Yeah, the Thunder, they only shot 27% on 3, but they were so efficient everywhere else that they still, really didn't have to sweat that much in this game. They had a big third quarter, which they did also in Game 1. They had 30 assists, just ran their stuff defensively. Once again, the Timberwolves chopped down their turnovers, but still the Thunder had 12 more points off turnovers. So for the last 3 games now, by the way, that's 63 more points than their opponents off turnovers.
Yeah. You say only 22 points off turnovers.
Yeah, because the last 2 games they had over 30.
I know, and the Thunder led the league this year in points off turnovers with 21.8 per game.
Yeah.
But in the playoffs, they cranked that up to over 25. By the way, Jackson actually doing some producing work again. Man, he's on a roll here. Man, when he can just
stop with the shots at Jackson.
Enough. You stop being a little wuss. The Thunder, Hunting Rudy Gobert
You
pick and
have
roll.
been approved.
1.25
You are
points
eligible
per
to
direct
receive the
pick
senior card
when
worth
Gobert was the screener defender.
$3,200. Just tap on the
Again, that's
image
a
and enter your zip
whole lot of
code.
mid-range stuff.
You will receive your card in just a few days.
I'll put it like
Ready
this.
to
Shea
use
gets that
groceries,
mid-range. He's
bills,
beyond
and other
automatic.
expenses.
Yeah, you do a better
Click to
job
apply
defending
now.
Jackson than
No refund
Gobert
is
does
required.
defend Shea or J-Dub pick and roll.
Dax is just staying up till the wee hours of the morning putting this pot up while you're taking your sweet time getting ready. So you don't need to be going.
I was ready before Wendy.
This game, again, like you said, Brian. I think calling it paint by numbers is accurate. Thunder stuck to their formula. They did what they need to do. And look, we talked. Stats Williams gave you the numbers after game one. Wolves were 11 for 39 on open threes in that game. You think, hey, if the Wolves can hit some shots, maybe the series looks different. The Wolves were 6 for 15 on open threes in game two, according to stats. He just sent me the numbers. Now, that's 40%. However, it's also 60. Yes, it's 60% less of those shots in the game. More importantly, they're 5 for 24 in the game on contested threes, which is a much better split for if you're the Thunder. You don't want them shooting 75% of their shots uncontested. And the other thing Stats had for me that he told the Podfather before he came over to here to do the pod is that
this is
unbelievable,
Randle, but true if you were born before 1970. You could
11,
qualify for a $40,000 burial benefit through this little-known program. The funds are already set aside for those who apply, but here's the catch: you have to secure it yourself, or it could go to someone else. No one is going to call, email, or remind you. It's up to you to take action.
Despite being
the good news, it's incredibly simple. I applied last night, and in just 3 minutes, I was approved. Now, I have peace of mind knowing my final wishes will be covered, and my family won't be left with unexpected expenses. Don't wait until it's too late.
Outside that first
before it's gone.
He has not done anything over the past 6 quarters, and that's something that Minnesota and Chris Finch has to find a way to try to change. Because if Julius Randle is going to be a semi-non-factor in the series, this series probably isn't going back to OKC.
Yeah, we had a pickup run yesterday here in OKC, and there was a possession in, I think it was the first quarter, maybe it was second quarter, first half for sure. I sent McMenamin this text. I said, Randall looks like me at pickup because the man smoked like 3 layups on one possession. I mean, he was frustrated. He was frustrated with the officiating. The Timberwolves had a free throw in the first half, a singular free throw in the first half. I didn't think they got a good whistle in the first half. I'll just be honest. I thought Ant should have been at the line at least a few times in the first half. By the way, Ant, I'm going to read his entire post-game media availability.
Drink Sprite? Ain't you drink Sprite?
You want to hoop like me? Practice. You want a refreshing drink? Obey your thirst.
Okay, and that was the whole thing. He didn't talk to the media. Now, that might just be Ant saying, okay, you fined me for one bleeping F-bomb, another $50,000, I just won't talk. But it's a tough look for a face of a franchise not to talk after a playoff loss that puts you down 0-2 in the Western Conference Finals. I think you could sense the frustration.
You remember the whole Marshawn Lynch thing at the Super Bowl where he just said, I'm just here so I don't get fined?
Right.
I think
Ant
Ant was doing the opposite.
That. Yeah, right.
Ant was like, I'm just not here so I don't get fined.
Or, hey, you fine me for talking. You might fine me for not talking, but whatever.
By the way, Ant up to $430,000 in fines this year.
Yeah, and stay tuned. I think he might get fined for skipping media tonight. Again, he's got that. Those Sprite commercials keep running. He'll be all right. Those Adidas are selling. You know, I like those Ants. So actually, one of my boys has a pair. Got blisters the first time he wore them, but that's neither here nor there.
What?
Get back. What are we doing? It is comprehensive coverage. Try it sometime.
Okay.
Listen.
Okay.
You could sense the frustration. Old Jaden McDaniels. 10 of 16 with McDaniels as the primary defender, including 6 of 10 Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And he had enough of Shai and just gave him that little kind of a, it was a bit of a cheap.
Well, I will say
one
this.
was appropriate. Little cheap shot shove in the bag.
Jaden McDaniels, who struggled with Shea all season long, by the way, which is not an indictment of Jaden McDaniels.
Exactly. Him and the rest of the NBA.
He got frustrated and he shoved Shea down and got a flagrant. I will say this, Jaden has been known to be a little emotional.
Mm-hmm.
You may recall that 2 years ago that he punched a wall and broke his hand.
Yeah, so, the wall won. He punched the wall.
So,
the wall won.
In all honesty, like if he got his emotions out this way, but Julius was very frustrated. Jaden was very frustrated. Ant, I think, very clearly is frustrated. He was frustrated in game one. He was so frustrated he didn't talk to the media. This is what the Thunder do to you. On Scott Van Pelt tonight, I compared the Thunder's defense to a Kraken.
Oh,
because it's
just
just
like hockey team, right?
Yes, it's just like
what?
Like a sea monster. It's just like enormous. And it's got all these tentacles.
You seriously went on SVP and said that the Thunder defense is like a mythical creature?
That's correct. It's like a Kraken.
Listen, dude, they are. They just they swarm. They just there's just like another body coming at you.
It's everywhere.
Tentacles. Interesting.
Like you think that you got away from them and you throw a pass, they pick it off. You think you're past your defender, and the sucker sticks his hand in there and knocks it away on your way by.
Lou Dort got his first, finally, all-defensive team selection, first team, right? Jalen Williams, J-Dub, got a second-team selection. I would listen to an argument that those aren't the first and second best defenders on the team. I would listen to an argument. I think Lou's going to be there. But, dude, Caruso... Especially
Alex Caruso is the best defensive player on the team.
Especially playoff Caruso.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And then Chet, listen, if Chet's eligible,
Chet Holmgren had been healthy this year, he would have made all defense. And Isaiah Hartenstein was probably ahead of Lou Dort too. If you're just starting from defensive players.
I agree,
but Chet definitely is.
Yeah, I'm going to dial you back on the last one. I'll tell you this: Casey Wallace. I'm not sure he's there yet, but he is on.
Look, there were times
I'm
this
fully
year.
On record on my Case and Wallace take. So
there were times this year where Shea was taken off the court for defensive purposes, not because he's not good, but because Case and Wallace is that good. And
I've said it many times. Shea is not first team All Thunder defense, but he is a tremendously impactful defensive player. He got 3 steals tonight. That's not unusual. He had 208 stocks this season, steals and blocks, third in the league. He's a great defensive playmaker.
So, by the way, the guy that Chris Finch played over Julius Randle down the stretch, and it's case, and the point of all this is that it was Naz Reid.
Yeah.
And Naz Reid, I think, is one of 15 on threes in this series or something like that. And that was the guy that Chris Finch went over Julius.
Hey, Jim. Hey, Tom. Sure going to have enough time? The flight's not going to wait for us. Probably not even going to have enough time for coffee. Never have time for coffee. It's pretty far away, and we're going to have to wait in line. And what if there's no parking? Oh, hold on. Why are you stopping? We have no time to waste. The flight leaves in an hour. That's why we're flying out of Hobbs now. We're here. Let's go get a coffee.
Flying in and out of Hobbs gives you more time and less stress. So when it's time to fly, you gotta fly Hobbs.
They're bugging this shit. By myself and I'm loving this shit. They don't know how I'm thugging this shit. I'm just paying no funny to slip. Ain't no pressure, I'm stuck in my thoughts. Smile up, I'm like I throw in the talk. Two we'll see get left when you walk. Can't run red, be like a hawk. Lucy's process, she left up to me. Big boss, stay here for your company. Thought a brother can't let them take me. So I up it, it's never on safety. I want a powder, I'm keeping it cheap. Things all going up for free. I've been running around in these streets. Gotta get it for me and the team. What's on the way to the back? And the race better not be last. Like RJ pass like Nash. Top two touch when he doing the dash. They ain't like mine, let's wait for the gods. Got some bro, I ain't scared to die. If I die, keep my name alive. If they diss and send them to the sky. Family hearing they saying I'm bugging.
The future of money isn't dollars, it's crypto.
That's where Gemini comes in. Not just another exchange, but your bridge to the future of finance. Your chance to earn when you sleep. That's not magic. That's just smart. Time to market? That's yesterday's game. Set it, forget it, and let your money work. Whether you're a day trader or investing for the future, we've built this for you. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Doge, over 70 currencies all in one place. Safety is our foundation. Certified, regulated, and licensed. The revolution in finance is happening. The question isn't whether to join, it's when. Gemini, for the future you're betting on. If a Bitcoin was the size of a quarter, all 21 million of them would fit inside a single shipping container. But to fit the dollars the Fed prints on average every day, you need 72 shipping containers. Each year, you'd need 26,280 containers. And to fit what they printed in the last decade, you need a lot more than that.
And David Durant goes to the Los Phoenix Suns. They say his team is the best team in the NBA. Him and Devin Booker unstoppable. The Los Phoenix Suns gonna win the title. In the Los Phoenix Suns, in the same year they missed the play, and Kevin Durant is gonna watch the Thunder win the championship. It is official. They not paying out. Period. They're not paying out. Period. They get ready for next year. That's what they be doing right now. They be getting ready for the next 2 years when LA Lakers win the back-to-back. They be ready to pay up their next 2 years. We make the killer on the Thunder to win the title at minus 320.
Gets a finger on it, but just can't quite come up with the steal.
Clearly a careless pass. He got away with one there.
And the replay demonstrating once again how aggressive that defense was.
They're going to get ready for what is about to go down. Don't be the blind side. Winning the back-to-back titles. The time, Mike. The time to reach. Second chance in their last 7 years. And don't keep the ball playing. But number 77 is going to win the next title for the Lakers 77 months after the death of Kobe.
Pass to McGee on the way, Bryant. Just
We see the scoring team ritual. We see the 19 dimensional playing out for the Stars in Seattle with the Thunder. Used to be goaltender.
Yeah, it's not a surprise then to see them out
Okay, Kevin Durant is going to the League of Bigs. He will not join the Thunder.
Here's Anthony.
Kevin Durant more than the year of the snake. He's forever the snake. He's never going back to the corner city. Forever be known as the snake.
There's the foul. It's on the franchise. That is his first foul of the game.
Back.
And
He
Los
has
Angeles
snake
with some
for life.
changes.
He
Lamar
never
He's checked
coming
in
back.
for McGee. And it's Vujicic in for Bryant.
But in the
Denver
year
also
of the
making some
snake,
changes. Evans, he's checked in
they
for
look
Anderson.
in the top
Williams
snake,
comes in
Kevin
for Carmelo
Durant.
Anthony. And it's a Flalo in for Ty Lawson.
How about that?
Now here's Billups.
Now the Thunder win the
Evans setting the
cup.
pick for Billups.
The
That's the
basketball
3-5.
gods, so to speak,
Six
punishing
the triple.
Kevin
Billups has got
Durant.
5 points in the quarter.
Destroying
taking advantage of the opportunity to put his range to good use. Billups, very effective from behind the arc.
Got that.
He destroyed basketball for 2 years. And the basketball gods are going to be sure that he is going to go through some punishment and some more humiliation rituals. First it was the Warriors that won without Kevin Durant. Now it's going to be the scoring
No
team.
doubt about the consistency when it comes to scoring the basketball for
And
him
what I
tonight.
said about
Real
this
nice lift
Team
for their
LeBron James being scoring king on 2-7 mid 42
pitch to Smith.
final foot net
Evans setting the pick for
what's
Smith.
going to happen against the
Another
Knicks
three for
in the
Denver.
finals. And we see the Giannis team
in a row
48 with
from
the
long
Knicks
range.
fallen to 2-8 in the NBA Finals with Kevin Durant in 2027. Nope, he's on scoring king on 2-7. Okay. He's gonna try Michael Kareem at the goal point in the year 27. Both scoring king on 2-7.
8 makes.
Tops his legacy.
First one falls for him. Artests. He's checked in for Vujicic. And Denver also making a switch. Calderon's checked in. That one falls, so he hits both of them.
He's done a much better job of getting to the line here. Aggressively taking it inside and not shying away from contact. I thought he was settling a bit in the first.
The Nuggets have made 6 of their 7 attempts at the line in this one. Free throw drops for Chauncey Billups.
And Billups is a clutch performer, someone who isn't afraid of taking big shots. I just love how fearless he is.
And that's good as he hits both of his shots.
And even though they're down, they are putting on a show at the free throw line.
Yeah, they're making the most of their opportunities at the stripe, and they'll need to keep it up to take the lead.
Here's Hastings, who's guarded by Billups. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. It's going to be on Chauncey Billups.
Oh, the officials are all over that one.
Clearly a foul. I mean, didn't give him any choice but to blow the whistle. I mean, you got to play without foul.
And he makes the first. He hits both from the stripe. 7 seconds left in the third quarter. 1 second left. He's off on that one. And so it's Los Angeles heading to the bench with a 7-point lead as we wrap up the quarter. They're shooting the ball so well in this one. And this is it. Glad to have you along for this 4th and final quarter. Bounce pass from Lawson. Anthony with the screen on Bryant. Back to Lawson. Shot clock at 5. From the arc. Drills it from outside.
Good work offensively, spacing out the D.
And so Fisher will bring it up for the Los Angeles Lakers. Their biggest lead of the game was 9. Outside Odom. Pass to Kobe. A floater. Kobe Bryant. So good at finishing.
in 2029. They are already planning Kevin Durant to join the New York Knicks. How you make sense of the numbers? Remember, 52 years without a title for the New York Knicks. Hartenstein's to play for the Knicks. Oklahoma City 52. 46 years without a title for, if you are, the Seattle Supersonics. Jalen Brunson's your 46. Kevin Durant plays for the loser Phoenix Suns. He plays for the loser Phoenix Suns. Now the Thunder win the first title in 46 years. And Oklahoma City's 46 admitted state in the Union. But you see, psychological operations still happen. It certainly happened in the NFL. The most notable psychological operation is the fact that Jay said the Lions are going to play the Ravens in Super Bowl 58. This was a psychological operation, and these things do happen. And we've seen it in the Europa League final. One was the script, the other was the psyop. Hartenstein, New York Knicks was the script. KAT Randall DiVincenzo was the psyop. I was on the reverse for the Europa, where Bruno Fernandez Udinese for the Super Cup was the psyop, and Victorio Dorlan and Udine was the actual script. So I'm telling you, psyops will happen. I was on the opposite side of the psyop for the Europa, and on the right side of the psyop for the NBA Finals.
No reason to risk the jumper when you can get to the rack.
Yeah, you want to get
They
those
win without Kevin Durant for Thunder, and DST wins without McLaughlin with DST the Champions League for France, and just coming up with Spurs and a trophy track for
Arizona over the 24-second buzzer, signaling the shot clock violation. For the Nuggets, Williams comes in for Reggie Evans, and J.R. Smith subbed in for Aaron LaFleur.
These matchups suck. The last good matchup in the finals.
Here's Williams. Nice look on the board. It's paying off with the basket.
It can be good for basketball to have upsets in the conference semifinals. You're number one and you're number two going down. That's good. But at what cost for the NBA Finals? You have predictable matchups and makes the finals garbage.
Some changes here for the Lakers. McGee, he's checked in for Barnes.
It may or may not be entertaining to see Kyrie Irving clowned by Boston. But those of us that had a brain, we knew they Mavericks had no chance.
He's guarded by
with these bunch of scrubs against the Celtics.
This is the time for that
all
kind of
around
in a close
team.
game. The important thing is to get the 2 points,
Miami
not
Heat against the
necessarily
Celtics.
the dramatic.
Oh, come on. He had to go for that, didn't he? My goodness.
Everybody knows the Knicks are not going to beat the Thunder. The Knicks ain't got no chance to beat the Thunder. The only reason to watch, of course, is to see the NBA Finals return to Madison Square Garden. That's always something fantastic.
For those
it's always
just
cool
joining
to
us,
see
fourth quarter here, we're
basketball
just
at
over
Madison
2.5
Square
minutes
Garden,
into
but
it.
the end of the game is difficult matchup.
Kobe kicks to
You're
Gasol.
underdogs. You're underdogs.
That's what they're calling for from Gasol. And aggressive mindset at the offensive end.
The Nuggets trail by 6.
Means the finals for negative.
Bryant with the steal. Pass to
Boys
Hastings.
on top on the west, so with the Celtics, that was a great play.
McGee is screen on Williams.
Watch
Hastings
the
the
other
pass to
dog,
McGee.
he's a size coming on the dog, the team, the dog, take the team and mix together. 6-8 seconds, 2-0, 2-2, 4-2. Every final since 2022 has been Cardinals. We go to Bobby. We need the Celtics back to 5. And that's good. Underdog, we keep your underdog status next year. When Celtics struggle, and how they become an underdog.
Nene comes in for Jose Calder.
But they are deep team.
And Chauncey Billups has
But
subbed
they
in
must
for Jai
walk
Lawson.
it.
And
Watch
he
out,
sinks the
Jason
second.
Tatum.
Now Smith.
So, the Celtics gonna make it back next year.
Jacks up a 3. Rebound by JaVale McGee.
I'd love to see them
Yes, you're gonna
improve
win
themselves a
without
little more
fucking.
on the backcourt. That's a great way to find confidence. Always a surefire way.
The rich become owners, they're gonna get the
Well, guys, they need to
championship.
do something to reduce this deficit. We'll see if
For
that's
the
the
free
answer.
throws.
Outside Anthony.
So we never dream of Super League. You wait for us to reward and payback PSG for never going against the establishment, which is you Cleveland.
Taken away by Anthony.
The job that people who lost against Arsenal because we knows was going to avoid the humiliation of losing against PSG altogether.
Bryant looking around. Gasol is screen on Smith. Hastings, that's good.
Showing up big time at the most important time.
So this is terrible.
And Anthony's got the ball here for
In
Denver.
another boring
It's a
one-sided
5-point
match.
game.
And on the public and otherwise. Everybody on the public is always
Anthony's shot is off.
Next time
Blazers
is
have got
four.
4 of their 6 shots to fall
And
so
no,
far here in the fourth.
beforehand, I wasn't going to say that the Mavericks, and I told you that 0 chance, and I
Here is
knew
Billups.
these role players that they had being carried by Luka, I knew they had no chance. That was a one-sided match.
Shoots the 3.
Knicks are just not good, period. They happen to be helped by the NBA to beat the Boston Celtics. They told the Celtics to stop playing basketball in the second half of those games.
Just fine on the
They like New York. The fan side of me likes to see New York teams win, but then the Knicks are still carried by the NBA. You had your WWE event.
Here's Hastings.
It may have been last year.
1:32 left here in the fourth quarter. McGee is screen on Smith. Second chance shot.
It happened around the time that these two teams faced off in the conference semifinals last year, or did that happen some recent before the start of the season? So I got it. Small contest for them. 4-0 between the Jalen Brunson and Tyrese on the first meeting in the WWE.
They'll be happy with that look.
And so my only question for that is,
That's a confidence
did
shaker
they
for him, though. I mean, that's a shot he expects to make every
Stage
time.
event that happened around the time of the matchup last year was after the matchup. No, we get ready for part two.
Just against Anthony. Outside Billups. Smith for 3.
I think
Oh my God,
it's better to see more psychological
You just
operations.
love
These
seeing a
players know
player
what they
with
do.
absolutely no fear.
Calm, collected, and confident in the biggest moment of the game. Yes.
And now the two teams are in the conference semifinal.
And here are the Nuggets now.
For the last time.
Anthony, the pass
He
to
is
Anderson.
not.
Oh,
no.
Basket to tie the
Ladies,
game.
he's not a- every time he does, and not
Tell his teammates trust in his
series, suddenly becomes Michael Jordan.
5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock.
You be calling Devin Booker.
Of course they did not let me have that. Why me? Oh my God. That made me so bad, bro. That was my shot. Are you serious?
He disappeared in game one. He balled today, but the Timberwolves don't have enough. And it's another reason why the Lakers are doing business losing against Minnesota, but the NBA is big. You see, playing to lose that series.
What an opportunity here.
Yeah, chance to take the lead. This is huge.
I've been broke.
Anthony against Artest. Anthony taking his time here. Oh, it's no good. And we're headed to overtime. Regulation. So we are headed to overtime. Live from the Staples Center, you're watching 2K Sports.
In the NBA. Let's try go the ball into this season.
Glad to have you with us as we get going in overtime. Neither team getting an inch in this one.
Scoring team on 2.7 against the Thunder, and the Thunder beat the New York Knicks for the Knicks to fall in 2-7 finals. Basically, inside happens right before the weekend.
McGee's been working on that one. I mean, you don't just come up with that off the top of your head. You got to think that one through.
And it's Ron Artest with the foul. That's
This
foul number 2 for him.
leads to the next event. Scoring team to this against
Off the inbound pass, and he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
Carmelo Anthony's skills right on display there. Taking that shot right into the defense and knocking it down in spite of contact.
Repeat time. It's all to the Blacks land. Time left in Korea in the year 2027.
That one is no good.
Not an A-plus trip to the line. He did get
the
the lead.
And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, and he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. J.R. Smith picks one up.
And I like the fact
They're
that
mocking
the
the
defense is looking
fans
to
with their
protect the rim
numbers
at all times.
surrounding.
Definitely saved the layup with
There
that foul.
go
And
to
you'll make him earn
James
them from the line, and that's what you want to see.
So he gets them both.
To the Bond became a scoring team on the 38th day. The Garen guessing the Thunder are going to beat to make it to the finals. Minnesota come on to 38.
And the layup is
Kings come on to 38.
Continuously working in close. Billups earning that bucket.
Los Angeles has gone to the
Well,
front
don't
court
take
11
it.
times tonight.
Because of the
They'll 5 of them.
Minneapolis team who cares. And everyone's going to say that the Timberwolves are going to win the championship.
Ryan against Billups.
It's Timberwolves 14 and 10.
Outside, Kobe. 4 on the shot. Feeds back.
Right
And
before.
a little luck that time, but it drops. Ryan's got 21.
Right now,
This
Kobe's
is
turned that
from
grease on the
if
stove.
you watch the video, I say, go to LeBron swimming pool convention. Did I mention the year for some of
And it's Anthony with the jam.
Oh, and he went for the
But anyway,
two-hander on the slam, using some muscle.
Some urgency from him there.
say,
I get the feeling, guys, that he
from
may
the
be sensing that this is critical time in this game.
when
Bryant finds McGee. The fadeaway.
it's kind of
Zachary grabs the
worthless.
miss.
Since you did it game by game, pretty much only concerned about these
The
minutes.
crossover and a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here.
To watch the operations in the beginning of the club, CC 779 says Wolves versus Knicks on Liberty versus Games to the NBA.
Drops
That's
the
what
first
watch.
one, and that will put them up by 2.
You gotta, take the Timberwolves game 3 so
This is
somewhat
what makes him
keep
special,
it,
his ability to come through
keep it
in
kind
key
of
spots.
interesting for game 4.
And Billups pulls it down. The Nuggets have got
Game
an opportunity
5,
their shot to drop
and
so far in
OKC,
overtime. Anthony kicks to the net.
OKC getting it done.
I mean, who you want taking this shot? Anthony, a natural scorer in any situation.
Alexa, since IDK, man, this script has changed so much, I have no clue who's winning the tip.
Pass to Hastings.
Never tried that, the script never changed.
And the Lakers with
They
another
only
miss.
have one
8
script
second difference
before
between the
season.
shot clock and the game.
There's some reported Black Magic associated with Jason Tatum's. And Jason Tatum's injury, these NBA reporters, Black Magic lunatics, they have to plan that injury somehow. If these people master
on the first, and that increases their lead to
the dark
6.
arts. Black
So he
Magic.
gets them both, and it's a
I'm
7-point game.
convinced
It's showing off a really
that
smooth stroke there.
they partake in these little
Los
rituals.
Angeles calls timeout. There's 21 seconds
Like
left in the
these
first overtime.
non-contact injuries
Trying to
within.
keep hope alive, but I don't see them making
I
a
witnessed
comeback.
You know what?
a
I'm sure crazier things have
non-contact
happened,
injury.
or maybe not. It's a long shot, though.
And again, the Lakers no good.
These guys are must be.
Guys,
These
overtime not
guys
nearly as
fake
competitive
injuries.
as
I
regulation.
guarantee
They
you.
used up all their energy just getting it. to
Why
overtime.
did Carson Palmer of the Cardinals fake his injury? Because
So the Nuggets
no home team
This was a
has
pivotal game in the series so far.
played
They were able
a
to keep
Super
their
Bowl
heads straight,
at
get
their
the job done.
own
And to be
stadium.
0-4
Swift.
Easier knowing
Carson
they're
Palmer
just
was
one
out
win
for the
away
season
from
with a
closing this thing
non-contact
out. Had
injury,
they
so
lost
it was no
this game,
coincidence he
the
gets
pressure
hurt the
on them
year
would have
that
been
the Cardinals hosted the Super Bowl. That was the year that the Patriots beat Seahawks in another rigged game.
Clark Kellogg and David Aldridge.
So
This is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for
these
watching.
these
We'll see you next
non-contact injuries are fake injuries. And they're just, these guys are script writers. Jason Tatum, oh my God. He returns back in the spring, and Jason Tatum balls out, and everyone's ready to write off the Celtics next year. A whole fucking clown, Tony, and a whole clown pussy actor. Tony Torture, a.k.a. Tony Trump, 44. What you be on? I don't know what you on about, honestly. Kevin Durant is going to watch the Thunder win the title. If the stars align, no pun intended. Dallas Stars had some bad luck, didn't they? Did they lose to Tampa Bay? Maybe they haven't come. Maybe they have their time come. Maybe they do. Shaming ritual. Thunder win without Kevin Durant. Mbappe leaves for Real Madrid to win Champions League, and PSG win the Champions League without Mbappe. Mbappe and Kevin Durant. I can't wait to see these two guys get clout. Kylian Mbappe and Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is a wimp and a wussy and a cupcake, and he'll be replying to everybody on Twitter. Cupcake always replies to these people. Who did the public have on the spread tonight is the question. And who did the public have on the spread? You say everybody and their mother knew the Thunder would cover tonight, but who did? So you're saying the public was all in on the Thunder to destroy the Timberwolves? I don't give a damn if Thunder equals 36. This is a Damachi trap. Thunder win the title because we must concern ourselves with common sense that simply the Thunder are far better and no one's going to beat the Thunder. And number two, we must pay attention to SGA equaling 27 and GOAT King of Bond, the scoring king on 2-7 against the Thunder. And it's the Thunder that win the last championship before GOAT King Bond's age, win the back-to-back to send the Knicks to 2-7. It's what the Thunder are going to do. So the link that I posted was link number 1, and link number 2 is basically psychological operation. The NBA brand psychological operation
center at 17, number 95.
CWE says, Sunday, I would free championship until Kevin Duquesne goes there.
Happy Monday, everyone. This evening, we bring you the NBA on 2K Sports. We'll watch the Washington Wizards as they go up against the New York Knicks here in New York. Alongside Hall of Famers Doris Burke and Grant Hill, I'm Brian Anderson. Allie LaForce on the sidelines. Now that we're into November, let's see how the Eastern Conference standings are shaking out.
I'm ready to no, it's down to 8-1
nicely for them so far. Number one in their conference and looking formidable. And checking out Washington, now 5.5 games back.
Seeing where the Wizards are, they've stayed within arm's length of the
conference
leaders.
I'm ready for this. I'm ready for this.
At this point in the season.
Yeah, even
so, though, Las Vegas wasn't going to pay out these Minnesota Timberwolves. They hook and bait the mask.
Looking to make a major push as the season winds down.
Better than
now Washington's starting five. Malcolm Brogdon out there with Kispert. Then there's Kyle Kuzma. Then there's Sadiq Bey, and it's Valanciunas.
I told you it's about Seattle 19 and Lakers 19 title, and size 19 in Lakers
Then it's Mikal Bridges. Then there's Jalen Brunson, and it's Anunoby.
It's what it's about.
You know, Grant, for players that move to a new team in the offseason, have they had enough time to get adjusted?
Well, you know, BA, it depends. Some guys blend right into a new squad, but for others, it takes a lot of repetition to get a feel for your teammates.
Now here's Kispert. Bey outside. Kuzma for three. And it's rebounded by Karl Anthony Towns. And so it's Brunson who brings up the ball for the New York Knicks. And they've been winning at a high level this season. Most games not even close. Their point differential is sky high.
Yeah, a lot of their games have been essentially over by the third quarter. Blowouts, big margins, really astonishing the dominance they displayed over the course of the season. I'm not sure we've ever seen a team so consistently dominant.
And New York has possession, following the score by Washington. Towns for three. Sinks it from distance.
That's the confidence of Towns. This guy, regardless of situation, believes that shot is going in.
Brogdon, pass to Kispert. Now Valanciunas. The three is up. The rebound by Bridges. He takes it in. Oh, clanks that one. He's 0 for 1 to start. Washington has gone 0 for 2 from outside. Bey passes to Brogdon. Kuzma for three. That one goes. Now he's 1 for 2.
Always solid from deep. Kyle Kuzma, you can't leave that guy open beyond the arc.
And a foul called on MP. That's his first foul of the game.
And this kind of selflessness is great to see. Textbook positioning to draw the charge.
Almost 2 minutes into the first here. Here's Brogdon. He's averaging more than 12 a game. A consistent threat on offense. Knocks down the triple.
Well, Malcolm Brogdon already has a 50, 40, 90, the ultimate efficient season under his belt, putting in work from the three-point line.
Well, it was a tough season for the Washington Wizards, Grant. A franchise-low 15 wins.
You know, BA, it started with trading away their star, Bradley Beal, before the season. But I like their new direction, prioritizing the future and developing talent.
The Wizards have gone 3 of 5 here in the opening quarter. To the inside. Oh, and he got fouled on his way up. He'll head to the line to shoot 2. All right, we've now got our 2K insider, Shams Charania, on the line. He's got a special report. Shams, it's all yours.
Thanks, guys. The Knicks went all in this summer, trading with their rivals, the Brooklyn Nets, for Mikal Bridges. In reuniting a core that won collegiate championships together, they hope to replicate that success at this level. And now with perhaps the league's top defensive wing tandem, they'll have a chance.
Oh, big-time move. Shams, appreciate the report. Free throw drops for Valanciunas. And Grant, when you play the Wizards, you better be ready to run.
BA, they like to speed you up. They force you to play at their pace. And on the flip side, that gives you open floor opportunities as well.
And Valanciunas drops them both. Doris, how about the emergence?